Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern Severe Weather Edition. Yep, we're dealing with this broken record week after week. We've got severe weather from Louisiana, Tuesday, Mississippi, Alabama, into Georgia, Wednesday, into the Carolinas and Florida, as well as Thursday, into the Mid-Atlantic. We'll see if the Northeast is finally going to warm up and see springtime temperatures, and we'll take a look at the weather medium term as well. Without wasting more time, let's get into it. Don't forget, there's timestamps down below if you wish to skip ahead. Also, question or comment down below. I'd love to read your questions or comments. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. All right, we're going to start off with the trouble spot here. I'll briefly show you Tuesday through Thursday here. This is not going to all occur in one day, of course. The western edge of this down into the southeast Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we have another round of it move through the south. And then Thursday, it's going to be up here into the Mid-Atlantic. So let's get into the particulars. All right, taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center. Enhanced risk here across southern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. This is for your Tuesday. So looking at big-time thunderstorms, what does this mean particularly here? So we take a look at the tornado threat here. In this hatched area into the yellow shading here, so particularly southern Alabama and Georgia, we're going to be looking at the 10% chance, particularly here in the southern region here of Georgia and Alabama. So you're going to have to watch this for your Tuesday. Tornado threat is elevated and increasing here. Hail threat here, 15% across southern Alabama and Georgia. And look at this, the wind threat. This is just damaging straight line wind. Southern Mississippi over to Alabama, Georgia, and even into southern South Carolina here. We're going to be dealing with the lion's share of the 30% range here on damaging winds. So this is a pretty elevated threat here. We get into Wednesday here. Look at this. This is a rather large area. It shifts northward here into northern Georgia and Alabama here. Big threat of thunderstorms, damaging wind, large hail, isolated tornadoes. And look at this big, large area of severe, basically slight risk here into the Appalachians, over to Mississippi, and then heading down here into Florida as well. If we take a look, we can't break it down into tornado threats or anything like that, but if we head into the Mid-Atlantic for your Thursday, there it is. Eastern North Carolina, southeastern Virginia, Delmarva, and eastern South Carolina. We're going to be dealing with 15% on day 4. That's pretty significant. All right, so we take a look at the Euro. We're going to look at the big picture here. This is your just around sunrise here. We're going to be looking at a big complex of thunderstorms from Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. As we put this into motion throughout the day, look at this. As we head towards noon, this races pretty quickly across Alabama, Georgia, and eventually into the Carolinas here. You have this next low pressure here. So you have this trough kicking in behind this, all this energy pushing pretty fast here to the east. We get into late afternoon, early evening, and this gets into parts of the Carolinas and into the Mid-Atlantic here. So this becomes more of a rain threat as we move throughout the night into Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. That kicks out to the east here. Look at that. There's our next low pressure system. This is a pretty strong low up here in the northern plains. That's winding up, producing some wintry type precipitation. A strong cold front here developing, and look what starts to develop here for your Wednesday. An explosion of thunderstorms across the southeast, and look at that. That line is pushing, so the southern end of the line, that's where we're going to have to watch for the threat of damaging wind, large hail, isolated tornadoes, and we kick this off into Thursday. There's that area, that upper level low moving through on the southern end of this cold front, and we'll have to watch for the possibility here of some severe weather in parts of the Mid-Atlantic for your Thursday. Let's get into the mesoscales. All right, 3-kilometer NAM. Look at that big line of thunderstorms ejecting out of northeast Texas and Louisiana. This is the early morning hours of Tuesday. Look at this. As we put this into motion, this thing is really bowing out here. So wind damage, a definite big threat here across Louisiana. Heading into sunrise, look at this. This is just pretty intense. As you're dealing with your morning cup of coffee or whatnot, look at this line just pushing across Louisiana and Mississippi by this point. So you know there's going to be some damaging wind out of this. Isolated tornadoes, especially on the southern end of this line, as some of these supercells try to form and feed into this line. Here's noon hour. Atlanta all the way down east of Birmingham by this point. In New Orleans, you might have to watch out for some isolated strong cells, but look at this. Southern Alabama, the Panhandle of Florida. This is where we're gonna watch for the potential for some isolated tornadoes as this line heads to the east here. And you see it's still pretty strong here across central Georgia. This is late afternoon, early evening hours as the sun's starting to set here. That low's kicking off to the northeast. Let's put this into motion for Wednesday. start to see some redevelopment here, some of these supercells starting to form here along some of these boundaries. And then you get this next line that's moving in that's going to be a big problem for you on Wednesday. Look at this, starting to form, and we could see some supercells form out ahead of this main line, so we'll have to watch for this. All right, so let's go with the rapid refresh model here. This puts us into Tuesday morning. There it is. So you have the same kind of setup here as on the NAM 3 kilometer. Look at this thing bowing out. You know there's going to be some damaging winds across northern Louisiana here, and look at this. As this heads to the east, this is right around sunrise, just after sunrise. Look at this line. It's just racing to the southeast and the east here across parts of southern Mississippi, Alabama. So we're getting into wind damage here, a good bet. And this is a bit more linear on this model, so the damaging wind threat is a bit more pronounced. But look at this. Supercells trying to form on the southern end and back edge of this line, trying to backbuild across New Orleans. Watch out for that during the early afternoon hours here across parts of Georgia. We'll have to watch some of these stronger cells embedded within this main cluster here. And look at that, how that gets going out into the northern part of Florida. So we have Jacksonville over to Panama City. We have some thunderstorms. But let's see. We kick this out to the east, and we start to see some thunderstorm development for Wednesday morning just after sunrise across northern Florida. And there's that next boundary that we're going to have to watch for your Wednesday. All right, so let's take a look at the Cape. Convective available potential energy across the southeast here for your Tuesday. Look at that. That Cape is feeding right into that main line of thunderstorms in excess of 1,000 to 1,500 here across Louisiana. Behind that line, look how much Cape starts to get going here. But by this point, the line will be to the east. So it is interesting. It's kind of puzzling here across much of Alabama. We don't see too much Cape until you get into the southern portion. That's where the biggest threat is going to be here across southern Alabama and Georgia. But look at this Cape feeding into early Wednesday morning. This next band of, look at this. This is going to be a big day. This is the big day for parts of Alabama and Georgia here. We're going to be dealing with Cape and excess close to 3,000 here, joules per kilogram. So this is pretty intense. Wednesday seems like we're going to have a lot of instability in the air here. So watch out for that. All right, so the significant tornado parameter. Let's take a look. So yeah, here it is, Tuesday. This is just before noon, about a couple hours before noon. It's southern Mississippi, so southern Louisiana. See how we get to these values, 2, 2.4? This is the problem here. So this is exactly lining up with where I kind of thought the tornado threat was going to be. So as we head past noon here, look at this. Southern Alabama, 2.6. Panhandle of Florida, 3.0. When you get towards 3.0 on the significant tornado parameter, that is where you got to start worrying. And look at that. New Orleans, 2.5. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not going to be a major tornado outbreak, but look at this. The conditions are there. We're going to have that rotating wind with height. To get any one of these thunderstorms on the southern portion of this line to spin up could start to rotate. Look at that. This is Wednesday, southern Georgia, parts of the Carolinas. So we'll have to watch the conditions. Seem to be right there. They're heading on into, look at that. So there's an isolated threat of tornadoes here for your Wednesday across parts of Alabama and Georgia, especially on the southern end of any of these lines that do form. And let's see, if we take a look at the rapid refresh model, significant tornado parameter, there it is, 3.0, southern Alabama, parts of the Panhandle. This is just before noon on Tuesday. Look at that threat there, moving across southern Alabama, southwestern Georgia, and the Panhandle of Florida. When you get these values closer to 3.0 here in the red, that's where you have to really start to watch. And as we head into your Wednesday, let's see. It's, it doesn't go as far as the NAM 3 kilometer here. All right, so for the Mid-Atlantic, pretty much for your Tuesday, it's not till like Wednesday. See, you're not going to have a severe threat out of this on Wednesday in much of the Mid-Atlantic. This is going to be more of a stratiform rain. You might have some isolated cells. Here's the upper level low that really gets cranking. You might have some of these come a little stronger here on Wednesday across parts of North Carolina, but for the most part, this is not going to be a major outbreak. You can see we get some rainfall trying to spin in here to the northeast for your Wednesday, just around sunrise there. And look at this. We head into later Wednesday and early Thursday. It's this next front here. We start to see this next line of thunderstorms. And unfortunately, we can't get out here into Tuesday afternoon on any of the Mesoscale models. But if we go to the Euro here, take a look. So there's that first low moving through. That is interesting. It kind of gets cranking off the coast there. Look at that. So we get into Thursday here. Yeah. So there's the low pressure. So it's anywhere in this region here as we get cranking throughout the afternoon. See how some of this convection starts to fire. Would not be surprised if we might get some strong cells up here in southeastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey as well. But the bigger threat here will be in eastern Virginia, Delmarva, down to eastern North Carolina. We'll have to watch for that as that kicks off here to the northeast. And then look at this. Big trough kicks in. There it is, along the west side of the Appalachians. You could be getting snowflakes mixing in. Yeah, look at that, the weekend. That's just so classic, isn't it? All right, so let's take a look at the northeast. What do we got going on here for Tuesday? Well, we got some rain showers here across the southern portions down by the Mason-Dixon line on Southward here. Oh, let's see. And then here it is, Wednesday, early Wednesday. We continue with that. Maybe some threat here around New York City, Philadelphia. And look at that. We kicked that off to the east just in time for your Thursday. The next front moving in, we might have a 1/4 inch on average here along this front. This kind of gets starting to wash out across the Catskills, Poconos, the Susquehanna Valley, and we start to ramp it up here later Thursday morning towards noon. Look at that. So you might have some heavier downpours. This might add up to a little bit more than the previous storm that moved through. And then we move that low to the east here, so we kind of cut the precipitation off by early Friday morning here. But look at this. Yeah, this is heading on into the weekend. This is just not good. This is a repeat of last weekend where we had lake-enhanced rain and snow showers, clouds, temperatures well below average here across. Let me back that up. There's Sunday around noon. That's horrible. So there you have it. So, all right, so let's go a little bit farther out here. The CFS model, the medium range model. Let's take a look at what's going on the rest of your April here. So, yeah, look at this. There it is. April 8th. Yeah, Friday. Just in time for the weekend again. It seems like these always set up across the East Coast on the weekend. So you're going to be dealing with rain and snow showers here across the east, all along the Appalachians, up here into the northeast, lake enhancement. Just cold, just miserable. And then look at that, Monday. Yeah, just as you're getting a case of the Mondays, look how the ridge just starts building here into the northeast. And then, yeah, we get another trough. So look at this. This is like pinwheeling here across the northeast. And we get into this very, very deep pattern where, yeah, a lot of people thought we were going to see above average temperatures here into the northeast for April. But that's just not shaping up here. Look at this. This is a broken record, ridiculous like it here is in the southeast here. And then you start getting this ridge building out west. Look at this. This is going to increase the trough here in the east. Look at this. This is just, it's kind of frustrating because when you're ready for the warm weather in the east, it has to kick on to this. Look at this. This is April 21st. I know, I don't have much good news here for any warm weather lovers that are ready for actual springtime here into the east. It's craziness, but look at this. We might buy April 25th here, and then look at that. It just kicks in for Thursday, April 28th. Yeah, you're just dealing with these big old lows, these upper level lows. We start to get some troughiness on the west coast here. Could this be a precursor? Well, yeah, possibly. This is getting pretty far out, though. This is May 6th, so by that point, we'll definitely be ready for some warm weather, and it seems like things really start to take shape here for that to happen come May. But you're going to have to get through April first. And here, Crunchyler, from the Lebanon County, Pennsylvania area, you can hear the thunder, the rain in the background. March 31st, right at the end of March here. Strong thunderstorms pushing across the area. Look at those lightning flashes going on. Plenty of thunder, lightning, a light show to behold here across the Lebanon County area. So look at this. Just, it's kind of relaxing as well. But, yeah, all those thunder, lightning. Wow. That's, for the end of March. Is this a sign of things to come? Is this what we're going to be looking at here across much of the east as the severe weather propagates towards the north here? As we get into the springtime and the summertime, we could be looking at more episodes like this. Nice captures there, Derek. And we take a look at his snapshot of a lightning. It looks like cloud to ground lightning. Nice capture there, Derek. All right, Tuesday across the northeast, we have this stalled out frontal boundary slowly sinking a little bit to the south, but temperatures will be allowed to rebound here. 64 In Binghamton, 60 in Erie, 60 in Concord, 60 in Harrisburg. A lot of 60-degree readings here as the sun will try to make its presence felt across the Northeast before this moves in Wednesday. Look at this. Coastal low trying to take shape here, especially in the morning. So this heavy rain will be occurring right around your morning rush hour here northeastward. And look at that. We have a stiff northeast wind here in places like Boston and Portland and Bangor where you're stuck into the 40s. That's a raw day. But look at that. Double nickels in New York City, 61 in Binghamton. That'll occur later in the days. We might get a few breaks of sun, but it'll be mostly cloudy for the most part. And then the next warm front moving in, showers and thunderstorms developing across Cleveland, Ohio is the warm spot, 66. But look at this. Some severe thunderstorms done in parts of western Virginia and West Virginia here. This will occur towards sunset. Damaging wind, large hail cannot be ruled out into your Thursday. Look at this. Another coastal type system with an upper level low behind it. Temperatures will be on the decrease here as northeast winds kick in northeast of this low. We will have the threat of some damaging wind, large hail in places like Philadelphia, Baltimore, maybe DC here. It's going to be a very narrow window of opportunity, though. We have this low pressure system, and it could fire some convection with damaging wind mainly, and large hail being the main threat here. But it diminishes as you go east towards the coast here with the marine layer. But look at this. Temperatures, as I said, being held down here. Definitely a half to 3/4 of an inch here into this darker green zone into Friday. Coastal low weakening as it moves to the northeast, upper level low holding back here across the lakes, and temperatures will be plummeting. Look at this. This is just in time for your weekend. It's so weekend-like. It's so classic. 40s kicking in with 50s to the east, your early highs in the 50s in places like Binghamton, Syracuse, Scranton, Albany, and Concord. Mainly a 1/10 of an inch of rain or less. All right, let's take a look at the southeast for your Tuesday. This is going to be the big day here across parts of southern Mississippi, parts of Louisiana. That's early, but basically here, southern and central Alabama and Georgia on southward into South Carolina. We're going to see some strong to severe thunderstorms. This is an enhanced risk. It's a very large area. Damaging wind, large hail, isolated tornadoes, particularly here in southern Alabama and Georgia, and here in a sliver here of southern South Carolina. Temperatures will be getting warm as this warm front moves to the northeast, and as I said, as we move through this warm front type area, that's where some of the storms could begin to rotate. So watch out in this zone. And we get into your Wednesday here. We have the next system moving in. This other system's kicking out to the east here. Mainly just some plain showers and embedded thunderstorms here in the mid-Atlantic region. But look at this. This severe weather with this next system shifts a little bit further to the north. Birmingham over to Atlanta, up into parts of the southern and central Appalachians. This is where we could be seeing a very strong pocket of energy and dynamics, and damaging wind is going to be the main threat, but we also will have the hail and an isolated tornado threat in this area as well. Look at this. Temperatures will be a firecracker. 90 in Houston, 91 in Tampa, 90 in Miami, even getting up into the 80s in Atlanta and Birmingham into parts of the Carolinas. And we head into your Thursday, the cold front pushing to the east here. You see we cooling out. Temperatures are on the fall as well as humidity. But look at this. We're dealing with slight risk of severe thunderstorms here in eastern South Carolina, eastern North Carolina, just east of Raleigh, mainly the Norfolk area on northeastward here. Damaging wind, large hail, isolated tornado cannot be ruled out into your Friday. Clearing here behind it. Look at this. Getting into the 50s into places like Atlanta, Birmingham, Nashville, Roanoke. And then holding on to some 60s here along the coastal areas. The warm spot here, still Miami at 85 degrees. Extended outlook, hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna River Valley. Guess what? Tuesday through Saturday, look at that. The only nice day is Tuesday, partly sunny, 64 degrees. If you have the possibility of having that day off, I'd get out there and enjoy it, because look at that. Wednesday, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, especially before 10 a.m., we're going to get about a 1/4 inch of rain. That will clear off a little bit, but we'll still be left with the clouds. It will get up to 61, but look at this. Wednesday night and Thursday, the rain moves in again with another coastal system, another cold front moving in from the northwest. We'll have another 1/2 inch of rain. Friday, we'll have some scattered showers, and then look at that. Saturday, yep, we got the upper level low, rain and snow mixed, some lake-enhanced precipitation as well. Early high near 49, temperatures falling throughout the day. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. Give my Facebook page some love, Media Mark. Also, Weather Eastern. Also, you can hop onto Twitter, visit me at Weather Eastern. Also, Hurricane Northeastern on Facebook. It's my hurricane page with upcoming hurricane season, and MediaMark.com, weathernortheastern.com. As always, question or comment down below, subscribe, smash the like button, share with all your friends and family.